This is Wendy's Friday Night Rivals.
A familiar sight and a familiar region tonight here on Friday Night Rivals 6A Region 1. A matchup tonight between a couple of rivals who have had some great games here on UTV 44 over the past couple of years. It's the Blount Leopards getting their first win of the season last year, 1-1 in region play, coming here to take on the Saraland Spartans, who, after 2 losses early in the season, are now 2-2 and 2-0 in the region as this rivalry is renewed here on Friday night. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan. As we look at this matchup here tonight, Dan, again, it seems like every week, 6A Region 1, we're talking about the battle and how tough it is, where you got to stay to think about playoffs, and just 2 teams that are pretty familiar with one another again heading into tonight's matchup.
Yeah, they're very familiar with each other for sure, and also they're trending up. They're trending up a little bit. Both are beginning to win more ball games, so I think we're going to have a good game tonight.
Yeah, Blount had to get that win last week up in Citronelle, and they did to get their first win of the season, but also their first region win. And so now another big test here tonight with Saraland, and they're thinking, hey, we get this one tonight, and it's off to the races. If they get this one here tonight, it's probably because we're going to talk about a young man on defense that we talked about a lot last year when we did Blount games. They got a player back there playing safety who's just really a difference maker.
Yeah, he's kind of like a safety linebacker hybrid, if you will, because he's thick. He's 6 foot 218. Chris Kasher is his name. His brother was a very good player. He's in the Canadian Football League right now. Kasher also, keep an eye on offense. They'll put him in the Wildcat, just snap it to him and let him do his thing. You can see he's a big fella.
Wildcat, I see what you did there. Leopards, Wildcat, I see what you did. Good work there.
Accidentally, but I'm glad I did it.
All right, Saraland, we've seen them a couple of times already this year. And again, another player that we've talked about over the years, C.T. Engelbert, really a guy, maybe a little, if you're just watching the game, maybe a little understated his value on offense when you look at, say, Jarrell Williams on the outside. But he is really a guy who's a key to this team offensively.
It's like they'd run the offense through him. He plays kind of a hybrid himself, a little bit of tight end and or slot receiver and or H-back, but he's going to get the ball in his hands, and more than likely it's going to be through the air. He settles into zones or is able to beat a guy one-on-one and catches a lot of balls. Quick stuff on the outside or something down the middle. Good player. Engelbert, he's a senior. He knows how to play football.
Yeah, he doesn't get nervous at linebackers, but he was nervous of you in the pregame show. We just found out. Not sure why.
Inexplicable.
You're not an intimidating guy.
No,
not on the set at all. So a big 6A Region 1 matchup tonight here on Friday Night Rivals. We're back in Saraland. The Spartans playing host to the Leopards, and we kick this one off right after this. Week 5 of Friday Night Rivals here on UTV 44. Tonight we're in Saraland, 6A Region 1 matchup, Saraland and Blount. About a minute to kickoff. Let's go down to the sideline and welcome in Heather Healy. Heather.
Hey guys, good evening. It's been a while since we've covered Saraland, the 3rd time this season already, but we're back on their stomping grounds in this offense. They are ready to pick up the tempo early, going up against a very aggressive Blount defense. But on the offensive side for the Leopards, they are confident that their quarterback is going to take them all the way tonight, guys. Should be a good one.
We heard Freddie Davis talk about that in the pregame show, Dan, where he said, you know, after that win in Citronelle, like, they'd really struggled offensively, but kind of got some things going and now got to build on that momentum and said, hey, we're looking ahead, and they had to get some confidence. It was a game they just had to have this last week. Hold on. So big story here tonight. Yeah. Brett Boutwell filling in for Jeff Kelly here tonight. Jeff Kelly not here. Tested positive for COVID earlier in the week. Was vaccinated. Kind of like a lot of people, had a couple of days.
He was vaccinated in advance.
Yeah, had a couple of days, didn't feel great, so he wants to do the whole, be as safe as possible. Not here, hasn't been around his team at all this week, not around his school. He is watching live right now, so Coach Kelly, I know he said, I've never missed even a practice. The day my daughter was born, I was still able to get to practice, so I know he's not happy about not being here, but Coach Boutwell filled in for Terry Curtis when he was on Terry Curtis's staff one time when Coach Curtis was in the hospital for a game, so he knows the drill here. Saraland. Williams turns the corner. Jarrell Williams, the West Virginia commit, all the way up to the 45 in great field position. And that'll make the head coach at home feel good watching this one as the Spartan offense will come out here to start things off.
Beltwell called a really good play on the kickoff.
He was a little on the nervous side, as he just didn't want things to feel abnormal for the kids, I think, was his biggest concern he talked about.
Yeah, and understandably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of tossed into this position to be the head coach. There's a lot of things to consider. Normally, he wouldn't have to.
Yep, Shane Corley, the offensive coordinator, who Coach Kelly said has done a great job working with the offense this week, along with Coach Boutwell, to get them ready for this game. And the inside handoff to the freshman, Santee McWilliams, who had 161 yards last week in the win against Baldwin County, and he's started to pick things up a bit for Saraland as of late. Crenshaw, Weatherby, Broughton, Chastain, Kraus, and Wilson up front for Saraland. On the outside, Jarrell Williams, as we said, going to West Virginia, just had the big return. Ryan Williams, the freshman, on the other side. Engelbert, who Dan talked about, and now right over the middle, they're able to come and they get this one complete up to the 31-yard line, and that's the tight end Matthew Milner with his 14th catch of the season.
Kid's got good hands. We've seen him earlier this year make some big catches.
Blount only giving up 11 points a game. Campbell, Wigfall, Jackson, and Buford up front. Bell, Jones, and Hannon, the linebackers, and they're deep in the secondary. Williams, Casher, Keldrick Smith, who had 12 tackles last week, was the Creighton Optimist Defensive Player of the Week, and Tyler Beverly back there. And Diedrich Sumter, the interim head coach for Blount. Of course, we'll talk more about that, but he really likes the depth of that secondary on this Leopard defense now.
Yeah, and he said they've been competing every day, and you got to win the job to be there on Friday.
Gabe Reynolds, 3 touchdowns, 247 yards last week, and we get our first McConnell Collision Center flag before the game. I'll start against Saraland. Rick Johnson, our referee, and you have a choice when your car gets in a collision as to where to get it repaired, and you can call McConnell Collision, 471-1777. The insurance company doesn't have to tell you where to take your car. You can tell the insurance company where you want it repaired. McConnell Collision Center. Second down give. McWilliams on the right side. Now a flag thrown from the near sideline. Looks like that's going to be a hold. As he got down to the 25, and another McConnell Collision Center flag. That was a big hole there for McWilliams. Over 300 yards on the game. You see the call there, and that'll back up Saraland. This Blount defense has given up.
Block in the back. On the offense. 5 yards. Replay second down.
So it was not a hold, a block in the back. Rick Johnson, our referee. This Blount defense has only given up 9 points in the past 2 weeks. And there's our entire crew here tonight, headed up by Rick Johnson. And now Reynolds gets it on the far side, and McWilliams with a catch, and he is quickly met there by Wigfall and a host of Leopards, and they're going to lose one, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long all the way back to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, you don't want to hiccup against Blount if you don't have to, because you don't want to be behind the sticks with a very aggressive defense, very athletic, and their record speaks for itself.
So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 19 here for the junior Gabe Reynolds and the Saraland crew. 3 receivers to the near side. You see C.J. Mack come over from that defensive spot, and he's lined up in the slot. Reynolds, right side. Now he's going to pull it down right up the middle. He's got some room. He's got to get all the way down near the 22, and he's going to be stopped well short, about 10 yards from the first down at the 32, and kind of in no man's land. Kirkland's got a big leg, but I think you got to go for it here. Coach Corley and Coach Boutwell agree. 4th and 10 from the 32. Engelbert to the bottom of the screen, split all the way out wide. Rolling his way, looking. Reynolds fires it off, and he's got it complete inside the 20 to Engelbert for the first down. And Dan talked about him in the pregame show. That's why you go to him. Just his 7th catch of the year, but when they need a 3rd and long, he's a go-to guy, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, the coverage was a little bit curious. They were really backed off him a little bit. I guess they were afraid of him slipping by for 6, but he's got room to operate here, and he just settles on in. And there's no doubt that's exactly where the ball's going, because it's to Engelbert. It's going to be caught
at the 18. McWilliams now inside the 10, and that's going to be close to another USA Mitchell Cancer Center first down throughout the month of September. Friday Night Rivals is going blue in partnership with USA Mitchell Cancer Center Institute for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. 2nd and less than a yard here for the Spartans. McWilliams, right side. He's got the first down to the 5, so first and goal. Another USA Mitchell Cancer Center first down. Prostate cancer is the most common type of cancer found among men, but when it's found in an early, 100% survival rate. So check out usahealthsystem.com/prostate. First and goal from the 5. Reynolds gives it off. McWilliams to the outside. He's got a hole, cuts it back to the inside and pays the price. Looked like he might have had it to the pylon there, Dan, but he cut it back inside against that stout Blount defense. And Terrence Campbell at 6'4", 215 closed the hole down on the freshman McWilliams, who's looking for his first touchdown.
Campbell's a pretty good player. It looks like he's got the edge here, but look at the speed of Blount, and they cut him off right there at the 2.
Chris Casher there in on the stop as well. Give it back. Ball came loose. I think to say he's down at the 1. So seeing how stout this Blount defense is now third and goal from the 1 coming up.
Yeah, and Saraland really going tempo too. They're forcing Blount to be ready to play.
Got Trayvon McAlpine now lined up at tight end on the left side.
Do something to the left.
And now movement, and this is going to be, you would guess against Saraland, that's going to make third and goal all the way back up to the 6.
Yeah, you hear that talked about a lot, Jim. You try to go fast, try to make it an advantage to you over the defense. Same time, are you set and ready to go?
Right.
In that case, they weren't.
So,
well, he so much wants to get off to a 7-0 start. Talking about Baldwell filling in for Jeff Kelly tonight.
Reynolds 6 touchdowns on the season through the air. Engelbert in motion. Right back, McWilliams dances down inside the 5, down to 3, and now another big call here coming up. Do you take the short field goal, or do you go for it and pin Blount's defense back down deep in case you don't, offense back down deep in case you can't get it? So you're going to take the points.
Yeah, if you like your field goal kicker, you take 3 points. You figure Blount, has had trouble offensively all year anyway. Get the lead, get ahead, and put the onus on Blount to get something to go, going offensively, which they've had trouble with this year until last week.
Going to be basically a point after here for Hunter Kirkland.
Exactly.
It's a 21-yard attempt from the far hash. A little bit of a high snap. Now the kick is up and good. And Saraland takes the opening kickoff after the big return from the West Virginia commit. Jarrell Williams, they move it down the field and they get the short field goal to take the lead over Blount. 3-0 tonight here on Wendy's Friday Night Rivals from Saraland. Just about halfway through this one in the opening quarter. 3-0 Saraland on top of Lund. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy down on the sideline. Matt Melton, our statistician, with us here. Jared Kihas in the truck. And our great Friday Night Rivals crew. You see the drive there, almost 6 minutes off the clock. Kirkland with the short field goal. That penalty, I know that's the one that probably feeling like maybe you lost an opportunity there on 3rd and goal from the 1. That 5-yard penalty back. Put you back to the 6, Dan. That might have cost you 4 points.
Yeah, I think it did cost him 4 points. But successful drive. Let's see what Blount can do.
Kickoff all the way back deep across the 20. As Tyler Beverly, the senior, starts as a wide receiver, starts as a DB for this Leopard team.
He's one of the better players on the team. Beverly, very valuable guy, both offensively and defensively.
We'll see this Blount offense. They really struggled putting up points so far this season. Had a game in which they lost to Baldwin County by a score of 2-0. But put up 27 points last week against Citronelle. And
on the road.
Freddie Davis with big week last week, 12 and 19 for 150 yards. Not a lot of downfield, a lot of quick stuff. Deshaun Williams in the backfield. He will get his number called a lot tonight. He had 201 yards and 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, that tells you a lot right there. And it was his brother that was the star for 2 years in the backfield for Blount. Is off to Troy.
Here's the offensive line. Daily Locke returning starter. Lacey Crenshaw, Kyle Pugh, and Michael Wright. Young on the outside. Miller along with Duncan, a couple of sophomores. Davis, the quarterback. We talked about Bell, the big tight end, and then Deshaun Williams in the backfield. And Davis gives it to him, and he decides to keep it and tries to get around the far side and got out to the edge, but Maurice Davis, the senior there, playing good assignment football, stayed with him there. And the Saraland defense, McAlpine, will talk a lot about him tonight. 6'3", 275. Laws having a big year in the middle. Jimmy Bird on the outside. Pope, Lafitte. See if Tyler Thompson is out there or not. He's been battling injury. Chris Thompson, Curtis Jamison, Davis, and Willie Butler, the corners, and Roberson and Mack, the safeties.
Really solid secondary, Jim. And they're up close.
3rd and 11. This time they do give it to Williams, and that Saraland stout front, nowhere to go, is Keaton Law, the senior, in there to stop him, and it looks like a quick 3 and out. For the Blount Leopards. Unless they had to change, because they're saying that was 2nd down. They had to change. No, they're saying now they got. I thought it was 4th down. Yeah, I thought I was right.
Well,
they were late to move the down indicator from 3rd to 4th.
I don't think Blount realizes it is 4th down because they have their offense on the field.
Yeah, and the indicator is on that side.
It's called a timeout.
Yeah.
Official's timeout or a Blount timeout, one or the other.
Yeah, it's definitely 4th down. And so you would think Blount will bring Keldrick Smith on to punt.
But when your offense goes backwards and you forget what down it is, but it's really not your fault because the indicators was wrong, but that would not be a successful drive on any level.
Short field is not what you want to give up. So actually it'll be Myron Dunklin, the sophomore wide receiver, who also punts, and Jarrell Williams will stand right at midfield.
That defensive alignment that Saraland was in just begged Blount to do something deep.
Yeah, didn't do a lot of that last week in the win. A lot of vertical stuff, a lot of horizontal stuff, not much vertical. And Dunklin, high end over end kick at the 49. Williams, good coverage by the Leopards, and they'll drop him right there and at the 48. So great field position again for Saraland to take over. St. Michael with a win last night, 44-12, and Satsuma was trailing late in that one, but they rallied to beat LaFleur, 37-29. Murphy and Theodore, 7A region matchup tonight. Theodore on top 7-0, Fairhope and Davidson also 7A. Gulf Shores and Robertsdale tonight, Citronelle and McGill. Faith and St. Paul's, big 5A Region 1 matchup there. Thomasville and Leroy tonight. Orange Beach and Greene County. Also Choctaw County and Fruitdale tonight. Got a couple of games tomorrow, including Mobile Christian and Viger. And Saraland's offense comes out for the 2nd time. McWilliams gets the edge to the 43-yard line before he's tripped up. Good job kind of waiting for some blocks to help spring him to the edge there. And the freshman moves this one into Blount territory with a gain of 9.
Good news for Saraland. They've already got about 46 yards on the ground, and we're early in this game. If they can run it, that's ideal.
Engelbert sets up to the near side and play action. Now Reynolds wants to take a shot. Looking to go up top. Jarrell Williams, and it's off his hand and incomplete at the 10. Well, you like the call there on 2nd and super short. Take your shot downfield, but Darrell Williams was there in the coverage with Jarrell Williams.
I like the call if you've got a Jarrell Williams. A little surprised he didn't come down with that. I don't know who's defended well, but this kid usually catches what you throw to him. I give that one to the defense a little bit. He played the ball pretty well.
So makes it a 3rd and 1 here for Saraland.
All spread out, but you got to figure they're going to run this.
Reynolds Gives it off, and McWilliams will have the first down to the 40-yard line. Only needed less than a yard, and a USA Health Mitchell Cancer Center Institute first down. Remember, all throughout the month, we're going blue here on Friday Night Rivals to promote Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And first down here for the Spartans. They have won 5 of 7 against Blount, including 4 in a row. Reynolds, ooh, that one nearly intercepted as he was a little late in getting that out, and Williams knocks another one away. I think he was looking maybe for Matthew Milner over there.
He was. Milner, another reliable target, but he just kind of telegraphed that one. These Blount corners are quick, and they anticipate.
Coach Sumter was telling us on the field before the game, Dan, just how much he likes those DBs on this team.
He said they have competition every week.
Yep. It's so deep. They got a lot of depth back there, and you got to earn your spot each Friday. Reynolds now looking at the slot on the far side, and that one high and off the hands of Williams. And now 3rd and 10 coming up. As we said, Terrell Williams going to West Virginia. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year.
Wonderful kid.
Was a guest on our pregame show earlier in the season. That one just a bit high, sailed a bit. Tyler Beverly. He's the son of John Beverly. He used to be the head coach at Chickasaw and St. Luke's. Play act, pump fake, and give it off to McWilliams up the right side, and McWilliams picks up 19 and a first down to the 21 for Saraland. They convert on 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I'll say it again. If you can run on this Blount defense, you're doing something nobody else has been able to this year. Look at this. Oh, look. Where is the defense? Great blocking in the middle of that line. Everybody got a hat on a hat.
Injured Leopard down there. Another USA Health Mitchell Cancer Institute first down. Again, that was Williams, but he is quickly back up to his feet, and he'll just go off for a play and be back out here. He's one of those talented corners we've been telling you about. So 1st and 10 from the 21 now for Saraland.
We've been observers of the high school scene around here for a long time, and you get the idea, the impression that if you're going to get Saraland, if you're going to knock them off, this might be the year.
Yeah,
because they're building something all over again.
They like their kids they have coming up, and a lot of young players getting playing time. This is one of them, McWilliams, for 16, as he's all the way down to the 5.
We saw him in the opener, and I think Theodore had a lot to do with it because they're a very good 7A team, and also maybe just the moment. He was a freshman. He's a 9th grader, and he started that opening game. He looks pretty comfortable now, doesn't he, against a really good defense.
Got it to the edge, and now he's going to go the other way. Touchdown, Spartans. 5-yard touchdown run, the first rushing touchdown of the season for Sante McWilliams. And Saraland takes advantage of the great field position after the punt. And they go 52 yards on that drive, and McWilliams has the touchdown, and now Kirkland will try to make it a 10-0 game. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the first, and that one is good. 10-0, Saraland quickly on top of Blount. 6A Region 1 matchup tonight here at this beautiful stadium. You see it right off 65. And it's Saraland, the home team, on top. 10-0 over Blount. Remember 100 years ago when I was a hockey announcer in this town?
I do.
Hugh Gervais, one of the all-time great Mobile Mystics players here. His daughter, Anna Camille, one of the cheerleaders there for Saraland here tonight.
That is pretty cool. Your worlds collide.
For the 9 people who remember we had a hockey in Mobile one time.
And it was very popular at one time.
For like 3 weeks. 8 plays, 47 yards, less than 2 minutes. McWilliams so much on the ground there and leads the Spartans to a touchdown.
Yeah, the offensive line looked great on that drive, and that's going to be a big factor going forward. If Blount has trouble with that, they're going to have trouble with essentially the whole offense.
And also, if you're Blount, you don't want to have to start chasing it early on, because throwing it around down deep we saw not really something they want to do. Big kick chases Beverly 1 yard into the end zone. They let him bring it out, and he is going to get just past the 10 and not much more. Good special teams. Trevor Pope, the linebacker down there on the coverage.
I'm sure Beverly did his term as a ball boy with his daddy being a coach, right?
He's he might have seen more Friday nights than a whole lot of people every Friday night for a long time.
From the sideline, yeah.
BLP Mobile Paints school colors cam there as we look at the Saraland crowd. We were talking before the game, Dan, just what a wonderful facility this is. You see it and just not, you see the football field here on TV, but everything they have here, athletic complex.
And they're building.
Oh, my goodness.
More on the way.
Yeah, so impressive. Sean Williams gains a couple up ahead, talking about why this game so important. Of course, you got Spanish Ford, who everybody feels the class of this region, ranked #1 in the state. Then you got Saraland, matchup between those two teams in a couple of weeks, both sitting there 2-0 in the region. And you got 4 teams all 1-1. And Trayvon McAlpine with the big stuff there on Deshaun Williams. Going to bring up 3rd and long again. Let's watch here on the replay.
Who wants to block him?
Who can? Coming
Really?
from that left edge.
Man.
And now 3rd and 9, backed up deep. And Freddie Davis, senior quarterback, trouble with the snap. Ball is still loose, dives on. Who's got it? Oh, I think Blount gets it all the way back at the 1, and Davis looks like he may be a bit shaken up on that play. It's good awareness by the sophomore, Cartel Washington. Cartel had 6 catches last week. He's super fast, but awareness here. Davis was trying to pick that one up. A couple of Spartans had a chance to get on it. And now it's going to force Blount to punt out of their own end zone. Just not a start Blount wanted here early on tonight, Dan Brennan.
No, who would, right? Now they're negative yards. They have no first downs. They're going in the wrong direction. They've got miscommunication, so you've got some fundamental issues that they're dealing with, not just production.
So Myron Dunklin, the sophomore, going to punt. And you're always worried about a snap here, a short one, but they get it off. But a kick does not go very far at all. Does take a bounce, but Williams takes it up at the 32, and he's got some room on the edge. Jarrell Williams turns the corner inside the 5. Touchdown, Saraland. 32 yards on the punt return for Jarrell Williams. And Saraland up big early in this one. Their defense comes up with the big stop again, and now they have taken command of this one. And when he turned the corner, Dan Brennan, you knew it was trouble for the Leopards.
Yeah, West Virginia's getting a really good guy in this one right here. Speedy wide receiver, and he's in the end zone on that. They were going to have great field position one way or the other, but he turned it into 6.
Yeah, and the sophomore punter, he's so concerned. He's just got to get that kick off, and that's what he was the big concern with. And we don't see the PAT, but it's good. 17-0 Blount finds themselves in a big hole. Williams, with some help from his defense and special team blockers in front, gives Saraland the big early lead, 17-0 Sparty here at home. Wow, quick start for Saraland here tonight, 17-0. Offense been great, but the defense has set them up 2 short fields to start this. Had the big return to start the game, and then 2 short fields, and they've taken advantage of it.
This offense doesn't know what their side of the 50 even looks like. It's just it's a rumor to them.
2 3-and-outs so far. And they let this ball bounce. It does not go into the end zone, and now they're going to start inside their 5 as Beverly, I think he thought it was going over his head clearly into the end zone, and it checks up like a Mickelson loft wedge at the 2. And they had to hustle to get on. It's a live ball at that situation. Beverly, I think, is just thinking it's going way over his head. And
here's the problem, Jim. This sort of stuff is happening to a team who right now is not winning the line of scrimmage. So they're backed up. Worst position possible. They were last time they had the ball.
Now let's see. They've done some wildcat, and let's see if they maybe bring it the big package here to just try to get a little breathing room. They'll bring up Marco Bell plays tight end, but also a linebacker. But they'll bring him over. They'll bring Casher over sometimes. They'll bring Anthony Jones over, but it looks like they're going to stay with their regular formation. They'll mark it officially at the 3. And Freddie Davis there with the sophomore Sean Williams. Williams, just a sophomore, 190 pounds. And now Davis goes up. Davis went up under center and carries it out across the 5, out to the 6-yard line. As we said, trying to get maybe just a little breathing room there. We'll see some direct snaps to Williams back there as well.
Couple of things for Blount, Jim. They've just got to they've got to keep their head in the game, and that's going to allow them to maybe get a few first downs.
Interim coach Diedrich Sumter there, looking at that play sheet, and Davis going to keep it out to the right side and wrapped up low and then wrapped up high as well. Davis nowhere to go. McAlpine finished him off. I didn't catch who had him.
Yeah, one of the back.
It might have been Jamison had him down there in 3rd and long, and now Freddie Davis, he's kind of looking toward the sideline as he'll get an extra minute of a breather here as we're through one. Saraland on top big early in this one. Friday Night Rivals brought to you by Wendy's right here on UTV 44. Ready to start the second quarter here in Saraland. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline. Our great crew, 3rd and 9 coming up for Blount, and direct snap to Deshaun Williams, and he gets up to the 10, and it's going to bring up 4th and 5. And again, here's that Blount's going to be punting from their own end zone. You see Blount, just not much going on at all, and McWilliams, the big first quarter, 81 yards on the ground and a touchdown. First of the high school career for the freshman.
Yeah, 111 total yards for Saraland, and that doesn't even factor in the return yards, which have been huge in punts and kickoffs.
And we're going to see more of that as Jarrell Williams, who has a 32-yard punt return for a touchdown. He stands at the 35. Myron Dunklin, end over end kick. Williams lets it bounce. It takes a nice blunt bounce. Good job by the sophomore Dunklin to at least get it out across the 40, out to the 45-yard line. But again, great field position for Saraland. All right, Blount comes in 1-3 tonight. Kind of foreign territory for the Leopards. When was the last time they were 1-3? And who was their coach?
I doubt it was Ben Harris. Ben Harris didn't go 1-3, did he?
We'll tell you in the second half. I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Wendell Washington. He was 1-5, but not 1-3.
Okay. Aren't you 1-3 on your way to being 1-5?
Well, maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
Answer the question.
Maybe I don't.
Maybe what?
But that was the last time he wasn't. So I'm saying it was after 2000.
Oh, okay.
See?
All right. My bad. Thought I had you.
Not so fast, my friend. Oh, so we have a flag we'll miss at the end of that one, Dan Brennan, as they move it all the way back to the 40.
Ooh.
It would have been 15 yards.
That'd be 15 yards. That'd be some sort of a personal foul. I don't know what it was.
We're up here throwing Coach Washington a bit under the bus, and at that time during the trivia. So, but still, this backs Saraland all the way back to their own 40, but still good field position for the Spartans. They've scored on all 3 of their drives, a field goal and 2 touchdowns. Looking up the right side, and it goes off the hands of Williams. Dropped there, and they had a little something going. He's got some size, and Darrell Williams, the corner, really good player, but he's given up about 5 inches to Williams. And
yeah,
Darrell Williams, good coverage there.
Good throw.
Gabe Reynolds, we saw him start the season here against Theodore, and Saw him also lead a big comeback against McGill.
Blount going single safety.
2nd and 10. McWilliams going to pick up about 7, bring up 3rd and about 3 here for the Spartans.
Looked a little bit like the offensive lineman we saw a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago with the Saraland team that could just mash it and come right at you. This offensive line has gotten better as the years gone on.
Third and 3 here for the Spartans. Williams going to flip it in the backfield. And actually before he could do that, he got brought down all the way back at the 40. So they tried a little trickeration there on 3rd down.
Nice play, Blount. Williams looks like his legs a little banged up after that play. Blount will hit you now.
And Blount, that's a huge stop for the Leopards.
Yeah.
And that penalty also after the punt that backed him back to the 45. And now Blount the chance to get it back is Jarrell Williams. Looked like he wanted to pitch that one on the way back. Got stopped in the backfield by the Leopards, and now
tough time at the line of scrimmage. Maybe Blount can get something going in special teams, a return, a block, something.
Yeah. Cartel Washington back for the super high kick, grabs it at the 12, and again Trevor Pope down there to make the stop after the big Jack Smith, who's going to Clemson to punt there. Blount's got to feel a little better having it just out across the 20 a little bit, not in the shadows of their own goalpost.
Yeah, they had no breathing room the last couple of drives, so let's see. Yeah, they're right around the 20.
But actually back at the 16-yard line here, and they have not been able to get anything going offensively.
5 rushing yards, 5 total yards, so nothing in the pass game.
Freddie Davis, 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Quickly out. They come to the near side, and that's Washington, the sophomore, who had 6 catches last week, but he's immediately dropped there by Justin Roberson. That was a bit of a snap that took a while to get back, and I think threw off the timing of the play a little bit as we look over at the Blount side.
Proud program, proud alumni base.
Such rich history there.
Oh, yeah.
Standards set pretty high there in 8 Mile for this Blount team. Davis, senior, gives it off to the sophomore Williams, and on the left side falls ahead. Not much room there as Keaton Law to make the stop, and also the sophomore Jermaine Paramore in on the stop. And we've said 3rd and long a lot here tonight, and 3rd and 15 for Blount.
Play calling, what do? They tried a quick screen to try and try to do something on first end. That didn't work.
Let's go down to Heather on the sidelines quickly. Heather Healy.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have gotten your antennas yet. I'm still waiting on mine. But in the students section, each week they have a different theme going in. This theme is out of this world, space and aliens. There's a ton of glitter, a ton of antennas going on. I'm still waiting to get a shot for you guys.
Yeah, the way my hair looks, I don't want to do anything else to draw attention to it with the, alien things on there. So 3rd down and 15, and they get about 2, so 4th and maybe 3, so 4th and 12, and Myron Dunklin on to punt again, and Jarrell Williams again will stand at the 40. Saraland a little late now. Blount, they don't have enough on the field either, and they're going to have to take a timeout. Play clock down to 5. Let's see if they try to get this off. They do. It's a low snap, and Dunklin, a low kick. Williams at the 39. Fair catch there.
That was not Williams, though.
Might have been. Oh, Williams was a little banged up. It was C.J. Mack who came out there and caught it at the 38. Good pickup there, Dan Brennan, and it was probably a predetermined call. Just, hey, not used to fielding punts. Just, we're going to get great field position. Just go catch it.
And they do have great field position, so here you go.
Hey, I want to thank Wendy's. Want to be this week's Wendy's Giant of the Week. If you're a junior or senior and play on a football team, one of our local schools, you could win. Log on to utv44.com and click the contest tab. And also, Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, our Scholastic athlete sponsor each and every week. And he's going to give one of our Scholastic athletes a $5,000 scholarship at the end of this season as we get a timeout here with 7:37 to go here in the second quarter.
Jim, we may have missed a narrative here today. Saraland defense. Yeah, Blount struggled on offense, but they got 20-some on the road last week at Citronelle.
Saraland coming in giving up 29.5 a game.
Yeah, not tonight. They look really, really solid, and they seem to be a step ahead of Blount. Anything Blount tries, they're there. And that quick pass on first down was evidence of that.
If you're just tuning in here tonight, no Jeff Kelly on the sidelines for Saraland. As COVID very early in the week. He was vaccinated a while back and had a couple of days. He didn't feel great, but he feels just fine now, but wants to make sure he's doing the right and safe thing. He hasn't been around anyone here at the school or his team or anyone, and just, you know, football coaches are always looking, yeah, but there's got to be a way. They're all, you know, they're always thinking there's got to be a way I can be there, but not with this. Jeff said, nope, that's got to be safe. And up the middle goes McWilliams and down to the 20 as he picks up 18. That young man approaching 100 yards already, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, I think he may have it, and he is a freshman running back, 9th grader. Doesn't know his way around the hallways yet. Where's history class?
Quick out to the near side, and this time they're going to come off to Ryan Williams, and he's stopped, and there's a flag, and then there's a second flag that comes in as well. So we got two flags right at the catch there. McConnell Collision Center flag. Last one might have been on the tackle at the end of the play. McConnell Collision Center is now offering convenient virtual estimates of their website. Snap a few photos with your phone and submit for a free estimate. Rick Johnson talking over with the crew there.
Saraland retreating a little bit, or is this?
I think so. I think the first one was going to be on Saraland. I'm not sure if the second one maybe is a. Didn't look like it was a dead ball foul, and the crew talking things over here tonight.
Okay.
So, yeah, the first one was while the play was going on. The second one came at the conclusion of the play.
We can certainly determine this from all of that. This group not with a real sense of urgency. So we could have sold some product there.
Louis, give him a call and say, hey, don't hurry. All right.
Have illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That was it?
And the second flag was emphatically confirming the first.
I suppose. That was a long conversation.
Coach Boutwell is
then
over
we
there.
have a dead ball.
There you go.
Personal foul on the defense.
Okay.
Half the distance to the goal line.
Wow.
First down.
All right.
More bad news for Blount.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see anything super egregious at that on the tackle at the end of the play, as that was Ryan Williams, the freshman. He's got him on the outside as a freshman. You got McWilliams in the backfield as a freshman, like you were talking about. This the Saraland team with some young players.
Young, good players.
Getting a lot of experience on Friday night. Give up the middle again. McWilliams. He's going to be down to about the 5-yard line.
Well, I don't know if this is just who the kid is or the way Jeff Kelly coaches him, but he does not retreat. He does not go backwards. He does not get caught in the backfield. This line's doing a really good job.
Heather talked about this tempo that Saraland wanted to use. We saw really kind of help turn that game around against McGill in the fourth quarter when they went to tempo, got the running game going a little bit, opened some things up, and now seeing that as well. And now we see Trayvon McAlpine coming over to check in to block on the left side of the line.
Okay, McAlpine, the big all-state candidate, defensive tackle. So where he is probably where the play is going to go.
Second and goal Engelbert goes that way as well. Give it off McWilliams. Open field. Tried to shake a tackle, but no luck there as Darrell Williams brought down Santee McWilliams.
Good tackle in the open field down by the goal line.
Yeah, prevents a touchdown here and bring up 3rd and goal, but not before another McConnell Collision Center penalty marker dropped back at the 12. Not a lot of energy right now here. I mean, a big lead for Saraland early, but Blount, the crowd hasn't really had a chance to get into it. Their band is such a big part of the atmosphere.
Pretty soon they'll be out of the stands getting ready for their halftime show, so you'll lose that element as well.
Rick Johnson going back Saraland.
A dead ball, unsporting foul on the offense, 15 yards. Replay 3rd down.
Ooh, so that's going to make it a 3rd and goal all the way back to almost the 19-yard line. As we approach the halfway point here of the second quarter.
The sound you just heard was Jeff Kelly throwing a 7-Up can at his big screen. Hang in, Coach.
So 3rd and goal. Milner split out to the far side. Ryan Williams, he's passed it before. We saw it on TV. Wants to make a throw, looking to go to the quarterback, and that one's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Darrell Williams comes up with a pick. He was trying to get it to C.D. Engelbert, and we saw, but there's a flag back at the 21-yard line. We saw Ryan Williams throw a touchdown pass earlier this season here on TV.
Possession. That penalty is declined.
All right, holding against Saraland, so that one be declined. And so Blount comes up with the interception. And they stopped the touchdown, but that 15-yard penalty backed him all the way up. And a turnover for Saraland, and we will take a timeout halfway through the second. So Blount comes up with their first big play of the night, an interception. And they'll get the ball back down 17 as Williams was looking for Engelbert. We've had to open the windows. We've got a little condensation issue here, Dan Brennan, making it a bit tough to see, but Blount backed all the way up again, and they try to force it ahead. In that middle of that Saraland defense, Keaton Law and crew just clogging things up.
Yeah, the Saraland defense just doesn't feel threatened by Blount one way or the other.
And if you're Blount, not a lot of, as we said, vertical attacks. You're you're nervous to do it, pinned down so deep like you have in the whole first half. But you also, at some point, you got to get some first downs. And
there's a lot of football field out there.
And Freddie Davis, Roberson trying to rip it away from him. Roberson ended up with it, and the officials say Davis was down. And I think Freddie Davis might not mind throwing it around a little bit right now, running up there in the middle. It's a tough ask going under center and just trying to get there. And Roberson did bat that ball away, and 3rd down will get a timeout. Just under 5 minutes to go here in this one. And Saraland's defense has only allowed more than 86 yards through the air one time all season. That's Hewitt Trustville, who threw for a bunch. But
it's a really good defensive backfield, but everybody's doing their job today. We're deep into the first half, and Blount has no first downs and 6 total yards.
Wow. So maybe we're talking about some players on the defensive side of the ball for Saraland as potential Herc Reynolds player of the game. We'll give you 3 at the end of tonight's game to vote on. UTV44.com is where you'll go to do that. At halftime, we will give you our player of the game last week from the UMS St. Paul's game. Might be a guy who plays a little defense and sneaks over on offensive linebacker, catch a touchdown now and then. We'll tell you about that at halftime. And Thanks to Herc Reynolds for being a part of our broadcast again this year, as we are just 3 ticks inside of 5 minutes here tonight in Saraland. And 3rd and 7. Stan said Blount looking for their first down of the night. Freddie Davis looks on. Brett West, the defensive coordinator for this Saraland team. Now Davis looking to throw, steps up, wants to air it out. Airs it up the far side, and looking for the one-handed catch was the sophomore Marlon Dunklin. And the coverage was good there, and you see the arm strength of Davis. And get an injured leopard. That's Davis down at the goal line.
That's not good. Boy, he's got some arm strength, huh?
He does. Let's look at Trayvon McAlpine, number 95, just as Davis is there. Oh, he got hit from both sides. And Dunklin was trying to get underneath that one as he had a bit of a step maybe on Roberson, and Davis coming over there, and McAlpine looked like he kind of maybe got at the ribs on both sides on Davis there. So,
it could be wind knocked out of him, and it could be ribs, but
maybe a hip. But you're actually happy that it's not a lower body here. As watch McAlpine. Yeah, he came. And boy, you know, when you're a quarterback and you've thrown that ball with that big motion, you really expose that whole
wide open
side there. And with 275 coming downhill, Freddie Davis heads off after the incompletion there on 4th and 6. And now Jarrell Williams comes back out to return the punt for Saraland. Statistician Matt Melton trying to do a cool little video up here right in the middle of his video. His mom calls and interrupts the video. Mrs. Melton. Not a great kick, and a fair catch called for by Williams at the 35. And boy, he saw some pressure coming, but then he had it all open to the near side. It's so easy to return punts and catch them up here from the booth.
Yeah, no kidding.
So easy. McConnell Collision Center, a part of our broadcast each and every year on UTV 44. Thank you for being there, and also the Drug Education Council. We'll bring our halftime show. We'll talk all about opioids and what you can do to help prevent the terribleness of that, and also the USA Health Mitchell Cancer Institute. Thank you for being a part of Friday Night Rivals. Great field position at the 35. This one up the middle, breaking free. Willie Butler for the touchdown, 35 yards. Butler, his 8th carry of the season, the starting cornerback. And we saw him a couple of weeks ago come in the backfield against McGill, and Jeff Kelly told us then he could be a home run hitter for us. Well, he just knocked it out of the park with that carry.
Yeah, this Blount defense, they've been great all year, but they have not been great tonight. Really able to establish the run. Saraland has done what they wanted to do. Their return game and kickoffs and punts has been excellent. Really, it's hard to find any fault with anything Saraland's done tonight, but disappointing display by Blount on defense.
One play, 35-yard drive after the punt, and Hunter Kirkland on for the PAT. And it's good. Willie Butler, his first touch of the night, turns into 6. Saraland up big here in the first half. All Saraland at home here tonight, 24-0 over Blount, looking to make it 5 straight and 6 of the last 8 against the Leopards. And Saraland has taken advantage of great field position, great special teams play, and great defense here. And their offense has really had a hadn't rolled in their favor because this one dangerously bounces into the end zone again. They've had great field position all night.
Jim, that would have been a touchdown from 80 yards, though. They could have been on their own 20. That was going to the house one way or the other. It just happened to be from the 35. They had good field position.
Again, this Blount defense has been so solid all year, giving up just 11 points a game. But here tonight, there's been a lot asked of them because they've had their backs against the wall the entire night. And now we'll just see. We're going to see Roderick Talden in at quarterback, the sophomore. Freddie Davis was banged up on that last series. And Talden drops the snap, ball loose. And Deshaun Williams falls on it for the Leopards.
We've seen Blount some big games this last few years. That playoff game we were all at Spanish Fort last year. It's a good program. It's a good team, just not tonight.
And now you're behind the chains.
Yeah.
Again.
We're used to that.
2nd and 12. Talden gives it off. Williams. He close up to the 24 for a gain of about 5. Might be their biggest play on offense so far here tonight. Again, yet to have a first down with inside 4 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd and 7, and now they'll do kind of a 2-by-2 with the receivers stacked on each side. Not ready for the snap, and it rolls back to Williams. Wow, miscommunication there between the center and Roderick Talden. Was not even expecting the snap, and then it rolled back, and Deshaun Williams pounced on it there, and 4th down coming up here for the Leopards. They're going to have to punt it again. I need to see body language, everything. Just not.
Well, you've got your backup quarterback in now. So that's pretty unfortunate at this point.
2 bad snaps.
Yeah.
Maybe the first. Actually, the first one was not a bad snap. That was not on the center. The young man just dropped it, and now they'll send C.J. Mack and Williams back to return the punt, but the play clock down to 0, so that's going to back Blount back even further with 2:51 to go here in the second. And McConnell Collision Center flag. And so now we're back to 4th and 12, back at the 18, and Jarrell Williams has a touchdown already tonight on a punt return. And now another flag, and I think Saraland maybe. Saraland had 12 on the field. So now do they wave off the flag? So I thought they had 12.
No foul on the play. Have
Gotcha.
11 men on the field.
I thought I counted 12. Obviously one of the officials did as well, but
Counting's never been your thing, Jim.
so snap Dunklin. Again, does a good job to get the punt off. Jarrell Williams at the 48 makes the first man miss, and there's a flag. Williams up the sideline. He's down to the 26, but at the 45. This is going to bring Saraland back, and will be actually back on the other side of the 50. You can see the electricity that Jarrell Williams brings when he gets the ball in his hand. Block in the back. Here's the McConnell Collision Center flag. Let's watch here. Watch the nifty lateral jump here by Jarrell Williams. Whoops. There's a little bit of a block in the back. I didn't know if that was the one they called or not.
Yeah, block in the back.
It'll bring it all the way back to the
foul. First down.
43-yard line with 2:38 left here in Saraland.
Blount offense has not shown any sign of life. You're already up 24-0. You've pretty much done what you want to do. You've run the ball really well. I guess you just run it some more.
Yeah, Blount will get it to start the second half, and Reynolds went on a bit of a hard count, and there's some movement on the left side of that Saraland line. So back to the 37-yard line.
I've seen so many hotly contested games between these two. It's hard to witness this.
First and 15 now. Inside handoff, and now the Blount defense steps up and they stop McWilliams there as Charles Buford, the senior, came up and made the stop and wrapped up the freshman McWilliams.
Nice job winning the line of scrimmage by Blount.
Loss of 8 on that play. Correct me, loss of 3 to make it 2nd and 18 after the penalty. Reynolds looking, steps up in the pocket, wants to pull it down, gets away from Buford, and now another flag drop back at the 32-yard line. Is I'm guessing that's probably going to be a hold against Saraland. It's going to back the Spartans
Holding.
Way back.
The offense, 10 yards, spotted a foul. Replay.
So like a 3rd and 32 coming up here with 2 minutes to go. Blount out of timeouts. See if Saraland just keeps it on the ground to keep the clock moving. Nope, we're going to set up a little screen. McWilliams hit immediately and wrapped up and brought down. And again, that was Buford there to make the stop. So good job by the Blount defense to force a stop here.
They're getting a little flip on the field, too, if they can use it.
They're going to have a lot of time with the clock running, and Saraland's going to burn it all the way down. Wouldn't surprise me maybe if Saraland even runs it all the way down and then takes a timeout. Okay, so wait, so that was 3rd down. Okay, they've had some trouble with the. So okay, so I guess they're going to say that was 2nd and 32. All right, they give McWilliams, spins and then takes a huge hit. Jacoby Jackson, the senior, 230 pounds, hit the freshman as he spun back. No, that was actually Darius Washington who came in, and that was a huge hit by a little pent-up frustration there on the Blount defense. And
yeah, that's what this defense can do when they're doing what they do.
Right.
That's what they've done this season leading up to this game.
So it's now 4th and 35, and Saraland going to punt, going to just let the clock run all the way down here, and then Coach Boutwell will take a timeout to avoid the penalty, but burn as much time off as possible with 24.9 seconds left here in this one.
What have we learned today? Saraland's getting better as the year goes along.
Look at our BLP Paint school colors cam there, and all the what how do they say it's aliens and what? Aliens and
about outer space,
intergalactic constellation, stellular.
We know.
Stellular?
We know for a fact from the science that's been done that people in outer space wear a lot of glitter. So that's what they've done. They're people from outer space. They're wearing glitter. That's par for the course, right?
As I'm quick to call out someone who makes up a word, I think stellular is a word that.
Oh, you're still stuck back there.
Yeah, I don't. I was trying to come up with some type of word to be appropriate, and I failed miserably. 24 seconds left, and Jack Smith, the big punter, inside his 5. Maybe Blount gets a little spark here on special teams, but they're out of timeouts. They've yet to pick up a first down in the first half. Buford gave chase, and a good high punt by Smith. All the way back to the 35-yard line, and Beverly gets to the 40 with 14 seconds left. So Davis with the big arm left after that last series.
This is so typical of this half, Jim. Blount finally gets good field position, and there's 14.1 seconds to go in the half.
And your starting quarterback is
out.
We'll see if he comes back in. Nope, they're going to bring Roderick Talden, the sophomore, in. He came in on that last series. Not sure. So look at this alignment here, Dan. Now they've got two linemen at the hash. They've got 3 lined out to the far side, and Brett Potwell filling in for Jeff Kelly says, all right, we're going to use one of these timeouts. That was not something you see very often, with 3 linemen split all the way out on the line of scrimmage. You don't see a lot of 6s and 7s walking out toward the hash on the other side of the hash very often pre-snap.
That's why Saraland said, let's think about this here a little bit. Probably nothing they've seen on any Blount tape to this point, so they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
But you know, every other coach who's watching this, not tonight, but afterwards, they're like, oh, I like that. You know, I like that. I like that. Formation.
We've had some plays introduced on our broadcast.
Correct.
Because we were doing the game. Thank you to Ben Blackman in Spanish Fort.
Hey, also, Coach Blackman, so great to hear his daughter Lottie.
Yes. Had a good day?
Yeah, had a good day yesterday and today, I believe, as well. She was, having a tough time over at Pediatric Care Center here at South, and scary time for the Blackman family. But
can't think of anything scarier.
Strong little girl there, and arrow pointing up in a big way as the give, and Williams trying to push forward, and that will bring this half to a close. And Saraland impressive at home, 24-0 here in the first half, and Heather Healy is down on the sidelines, and I believe she has got Coach Boutwell. Heather.
All right, Coach, you got through your first half. Let's talk about the defense first. They didn't give Blount a first down in the first half alone, less than 10 yards given alone. Talk about that.
Defense has been outstanding about tonight. I'm really not sure that they've crossed the 50 yet, right. And they're playing lights out. I wish we'd have got a chance to score right there when we had it on the 3, going up 31-0. So we got to come out for the second half and then keep playing, and that's it.
24 points on the board. Your offense, that tempo is getting up and running. How are you going to take that to the second half?
Well, just got to get in here. There's a few adjustments that we need to make, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
Okay, he might have been as nervous about that, having to do that interview either there or after the game as he was everything else he had on his plate this week. But
we've known that guy for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Really good guy. Thrown into the fire here a little bit with Jeff Kelly home, getting better. He'll be fine. They've got 24-0 lead at half. Saraland looks solid.
That's the score at the half. Wendy's Friday Night Rivals here on UTV 44. There's our score at the half. Saraland on top 24-0, and the score is very indicative of what this game has been like. It's been all Saraland here in the first half, Dan.
It could have been more.
Yep.
It could have been more, believe it or not. They've the return yards are fantastic. They've had the ball on the one side of the 50 the whole half. They pretty much cashed in, but even at the end of the half right there, they had another opportunity, and kind of penalties knocked them back.
We saw a great game last week, a big rivalry game on Old Shell Road, UMS and St. Paul's. UMS was up late in this one. Robert Courtney was our player of the week, number 1, the linebacker there, who called his name a lot making tackles, but it was also on the offensive side, they needed a spark, as UMS in the first half was having trouble kind of getting things going offensively. UMS, of course, trailed late in this game, but then they had a chance in the first half. And look at the tight end just leaking out of the backfield there, Dan. Right?
Yeah, I love this player, Robert Courtney. He is a football player, and he's as good as they've got at UMS, right? Linebacker slash, hey, let's throw it in the end zone as a tight end. They'll do that too. This is another offensive play for Courtney.
Yeah, came out here to the flat and second half there and used him a little bit more. And for that UMS team we talked about, they had the interception there late in the game as well. And he was our player of the game as he helped UMS come back from being down with 4.5 to go to win the game and stay perfect in the region. We'll give you 3 players at the end of this one tonight in our Herc Reynolds Player of the Game. The nominees will be there, and you'll be able to go to utv44.com to vote. So thanks to Herc Reynolds, they've got everything you need, whether you need a fancy, highly engineered equipment or just something for the backyard. Herc Reynolds can help you out.
We've had some record online turnout, haven't we?
Yes.
Voter turnout has been excellent.
It seemed almost like an old school Chicago election at one point. Halftime score, all Saraland on top 24-0 over Blount. We are in week 5 of the high school football season here, and each week we get a chance to take a look at some of the best of from Friday Night Rivals games from all across the country. And let's take a look at those highlights from week 4 here at halftime of this one from Saraland.
And Stevie Thomas breaking into the outside, up the middle. Now it goes Thomas with the Jets. He spins. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. He has scored again.
Here comes the rush. Avoids the rush. Rolling out. Throwing. Deep. He's got a man. Touchdown.
Blake's got some time going deep. In the double coverage, it's picked off by Trey Rex. Down at the 5. Ball pops loose, and the Jets have it.
Grummer across the middle. Touchdown. Hangs on to it.
Pressure coming in this one, just off the hands, now intercepted as it went off Roberson's hands, and the pick by the Saints.
They dial up Pence to the end zone. Does he make the catch? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Antlers.
Pass again, going over the top. He's got his man too, it's Cottrell. Does he catch it? Yes, he does. Oh my. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Smith, the ball gets past him, able to contain it, rolls to the right, throws back upfield. He's got his receiver, middle of the field, he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
At the D1 level, McGinnis deep again. They got it again. Oh my goodness. Avery Sloan this time in a foot race. Sloan to the 20. Puts a move on. Avery Sloan to the 5. He dives.
I love those.
They're great.
I love seeing those highlights from all.
First thing I do is I look at that in the corner where you see what city it's in. You know, to get an idea of what these who these players are, where they're from, where the teams are from.
Pennsylvania, Illinois, Oklahoma
we made it
City.
again. We made the list again.
I mean, well, how could we not? I mean, how could we? How could we not? So our Friday night arrivals, best of from all around the country. And speaking of best of, we got some best of student athletes for Dan Brennan to tell you about here at halftime.
Blount Leopards, it's Bruce Crenshaw. You see him out on the field tonight as a senior. Check this out, Jim. 3.8 GPA. That's the way to go. AP Honor Student, National Honor Society, plans to attend Auburn University, major in a science-related field. So that's his thing, and he's really good at it. So that's as far as Blount. Saraland Spartans, Alexis Gillette. She's a senior, 4.5 GPA, 30 ACT.
Oof.
That's pretty solid. Volleyball and bowling is what she participates in. National Honor Society, Leo Club, and Fellowship of the Christian Athletes. She's going to attend the University of Mobile, play volleyball.
Love that.
That's like same exit.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
So our Scholastic Athletes of the Week brought to you each week by Andy Citron Injury Attorneys. Thanks to them for, again, being a part of our Friday Night Rivals. And at the end of the season, they're going to award one of our Scholastic athletes a $5,000 scholarship. Almost perfect score on the ACT for Miss Gillette there, and Saraland's almost been perfect here tonight as well. They lead Blount by a score of 24-0 at the half. More to come from Saraland after this. Halftime here at Saraland, the home crowd. They've had a lot to cheer about pretty much from the get-go in this one. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan up here in the press box in Saraland. Heather Healy down on the sidelines. Our UTV 44 crew setting up in the rain here all day today and just poured on them all day. And hats off to what our crew does each and every Friday night. Dan Brennan.
Saraland is pouring it on Blount tonight. 176 total yards to 7 at halftime. Saraland obviously with a pretty comfortable lead.
Yeah, they got the ball first, and they've never took their foot off the gas. The only thing that maybe a little disappointed was that first drive. They ended up just getting the short 21-yard field goal, and they had a first third and goal from the 1. Penalty brought them back. And then Jarrell Williams, 32-yard punt return for a touchdown. And this was early on. It's 10-0 Saraland, and it was kind of on. And then the last touchdown, Willie Butler, 35 yards. But you said it'd have been good from 80. He'd have been able to take it 80 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's he was past the safety one way or the other. And you know what? That A-gap group right there in the middle of that offensive line for Saraland, they've done a really good job establishing the run right over center.
And this is a Blount team that's only given up 9 points in the past 2 weeks. They only give up 11 a game all season, but Saraland has done everything they've been able to do all throughout the game here. You see some of the numbers there as our Drug Education Council rolls on here at halftime. Impressive for Saraland so far here tonight. And let's go down to the sidelines and see what Heather has to say. She heard from Coach Boutwell, who's filling in for Jeff Kelly tonight. How about from the Blount side, Heather? All right, we'll try to get back to Heather momentarily. Blount's going to get the ball here to start the second half, and you know, if you're Coach Sumter, I mean, you got to tell them, hey, we got to start something. We got to get something going here. We're not going to get 24 back at one time, but you also know the daunting task. I mean, that Saraland defense, you just talked about how it's just been unpenetratable all night.
No, this team's not going to be nice to you. These are region rivals who have played incredible games in the past. It's so one-sided tonight, but Saraland's got to keep playing football. They've got to get better with each snap. They've got young players that have got to show improvement as the game goes along, so probably no relief for Blount.
Hey, our halftime show is brought to you by the Drug Education Council Opioid Awareness Campaign. Prescription opioid abuse, of course, is a critical public health issue. Opioids are among the most addictive drugs. Teens sometimes get them for a dental procedure or maybe a sports injury. Misuse can have lasting effects. Repeated opioid abuse can affect everything from behavior, decision-making, response to stressful situations. Keep an eye out for those type behaviors in your teens. Overdose from opioids are certainly on the rise, killing Americans of all ages. Find out more about the opioid crisis. Check out the Drug Education Council. Get answers, get help, get better. DrugEducationCouncil.org. Let's try to check in with Heather again down on the sidelines. Heather.
Yeah, guys, let's talk about Blount real quick. This time for the second half, I asked Coach, what is it going to take to actually get a first down? Because they didn't have any in the first half. And he said our offense overall was discombobulated. It was absolutely atrocious. So we need to get some sort of rhythm going from the very beginning. If we get a rhythm set and we get a rhythm down, we're going to get the wheels turning, and we should have something going to go against this Saraland defense, guys.
You know, that offense certainly did look discombobulated, which is also a great word. It's a great word. But a lot of that has to do with that Saraland defense. So you got to find some answers. You hadn't been able to throw it all, but you've been backed up. You hadn't had much of a chance either. Been backed up all night long. Yeah, and
it feels a little bit like politics, like a campaign promise. We'll do better in the second half, but how are you going to do better against the Saraland defense that is overmatched in the first half? And I think everyone that described this is pretty right. It all starts with Blount and kind of a disorganization with what their offensive concepts are going to be.
And special teams have been a bit of a nightmare for the Leopards here in the first half of this one. See, maybe they can get a good return to get things going here. And Hunter Kirkland chased this one all the way back to the 5-yard line and trying to bring this one out. Keyshawn Johnson, good return across the 40. So there's a start for the Leopards. By far the best field position they'll have for a sustained time. They had it pretty good at the end of the half, but there was only 14 seconds left. So let's see if this Leopard offense can get something going. And no Freddie Davis, so they'll stay with the sophomore. Roderick Talden came in. Davis got injured, looked like maybe a hip area. And they spread things way out here. And Towdren's got Deshaun Williams with him. They give it to him on the left side, and Williams is stood up there. Cam Lafitte, the sophomore middle linebacker, there. And so we didn't see that formation in the first half, but I think Blount trying to go back and say, all right, we got to, what we weren't doing obviously wasn't working. What we were doing obviously wasn't working. So see if they can get a little something going, some different formations.
Yeah, that's a crowd that came out in this. It wasn't pouring rain earlier tonight. It kind of not cleared up. The rain had gone away, but it's been a lousy day, and they came out anyway.
3 receivers to the bottom, and now a flag at the point of contact as Williams got to the line of scrimmage, but nowhere else. And another McConnell Collision Center flag holding against.
Oh, we were told good things about Williams. We just haven't seen it unleashed.
201 yards last week.
Yeah.
So if you're
on the road at Citronelle.
So for Saraland, you back them up 10 here or take the down. They're going to back them up and bring it to make it be 2nd and
holding
19.
On the offense, 10 yards, replay 2nd down.
2nd and 19 back at the 34.
They've got no play for this. You know, they just haven't been able to get a big play downfield, a medium play downfield.
Taldren throws this one. That's a lateral in the backfield, so that'll be a run. And another loss as Williams goes back. He's going to lose about 5 on that one. And now he's going to bring up 3rd. And 20. Maybe 3rd and... Actually, 3rd and 21 as they lose on that pass that was technically a run since it was back behind the line of scrimmage. Again, you got nothing in the playbook for this, and Taldren dropped the snap and then paid the price with McAlpine wrapping him up and bringing him down. And another 3 and out.
You got a young, inexperienced quarterback and not even shored up with fundamentals right there. He's unsure of himself, so he's looking around before the snap gets to his hands, drops it.
And so Blount gets their alignment right in the high kick, and Jarrell Williams will watch it bounce. It takes a great blunt bounce all the way back to the 25-yard line, and that a 42-yard punt. And let's go down to Heather, who's confident we got a special guest watching tonight. Heather.
Yeah, Coach, you might be wondering what head coach Jeff Kelly is doing on a Friday night. Well, he is indeed watching this broadcast, and this is his thoughts on the first half. Word for word, it says, thought our defense has been outstanding so far. Offensively, there has been some good stuff as well. Our coaches are doing a good job getting some good runs dialed up. The penalty down on the goal line cost us a touchdown, of course, and we can't do that to be successful. We've got a bunch of game left to go, and obviously there is a bunch of game left to go, guys.
Indeed there is, but their defense comes up with yet another 3 and out. Reynolds, trouble that time on the Saraland side with the snap. As he held on to that one, it just didn't get the exchange off with McWilliams. And so a loss of 3 on that one for the first play in the second half for the Spartans. And Jeff Kelly was saying, he said, you know, I've never missed as much as a practice. He said the day my daughter was born, was still able to get to I was there for the birth of my daughter, but I was still able to get to practice. So, really, but again, wants to make sure he's doing the right thing and being safe and not being around people, and feels great. Says, you know, had a couple of days, didn't feel great, but now feels 100% and he's watching the game.
He's able to communicate with his team and his coaches all week long through Zoom. And, but it was up to Coach Boutwell for the pregame speech. That was not going to be delivered over Zoom.
Yep, and Coach Boutwell, the head baseball coach here, has had great success, and he knows a thing or two about those pregame speeches. And McWilliams nowhere to go on that one as Anthony Jones, the junior. He had 2 interceptions against Baldwin County a couple of weeks ago. Comes up with a stop, and now Blount comes up with a 3 and out. And Saraland's going to have to bring the punt team on, and that is not going to make Coach Boutwell happy with the way his offense comes out in their first 3 and out after the break at halftime.
Or Coach Kelly and his recliner in PJs.
And Jack Smith, he has like the little hat on, like the little hat, the pajama hat maybe.
He might.
Jack Smith from the 15. Again, pressure, but it's a good high kickoff. Washington will watch that one bounce, and Saraland will down it. Trevor Pope down there at the 45, and so Blount again with good field position and see if they can get something going. Again, yet to get a first down here in this game, and they've yet to get across the 50.
We've got a chance here. Really good field position for Blount again. Again, you got the second string quarterback in because of the injury earlier in the half to Freddie Davis.
Talden on the 45 gives it off to Sean Williams, wrapped up by McAlpine, got right back to the line of scrimmage, and I think the sophomore Deshaun Williams will be sending Trayvon McAlpine a congratulations card on graduation day, saying, good luck now, get out of here.
See you the blank later.
Yeah, I don't want to see you anymore on Friday nights.
Yeah, McAlpine has been a really good player this year, not as good as advertised.
Talden to the far side, able to get it off to the sophomore, Trell Washington. And Partel Washington had a big week last week, gets the catch there, and only picks up 3.
Good speed going around the corner.
He's a speedster on this offense.
He can go.
3rd and 7. You got to think. You got to think. You're starting to get close to two down territory here, right out near midfield. But Blount, you got to get some points. 3rd and 7 at your own 48. Washington out wide, a pair of receivers also down to the bottom of the screen. Pressure coming. Taldren going to get wrapped up and forced out of bounds as they were coming from all sides. Cam Lafitte was there. Trevor Pope was there. Keaton Law also there. And now you're thinking about 2-down territory, but you lose 4 on 3rd and 7.
I don't think you're thinking about it anymore. Boy, they just came from all directions. McAlpine again has been a big time player tonight.
And good coverage down field as well. And the 4th and 11.
I don't know what opportunity that young quarterback had to assess what was downfield with that.
So Dunklin from the 35 had a very good kick, and you hear the coaches yelling, Peter, just get away from that one. It's down to the 28-yard line, and see if we can get our halfway point in the quarter. Heat timeout. Saraland on top 24. Nothing over Blount. 6A Region 1 matchup tonight here on Friday Night Rivals. A couple of 3 and outs to start the second half. Saraland will have it back when we come back after this timeout. Halfway through the 3rd, this one has been all Saraland, except for that last series there to open up the second half. They went 3 and out. Let's see, McWilliams, the freshman, back there with Gabe Reynolds, the junior quarterback. We've seen his confidence grow in the 3 games we've watched this team so far, Dan Brennan.
We saw it grow in real time against McGill.
Yep. Led him to a 4th quarter comeback. He looks over the middle, nothing there. Jacoby Jackson on the chase, and he's able to find the big tight end Matthew Milner up the near side, and he's got a first down to the 47-yard line, a pickup of 17, make it a pickup of 19.
Watch the confidence here by the quarterback. You're just going to drop it in there?
Ooh, it's a tough little throw to drop it.
Yeah,
over the corner there.
Yeah.
McWilliams looking to get to the edge. And he's into Blount territory.
The quarterback's told us about fundamentals. Now the idea is to be able to perform while basically breaking fundamentals.
Saw a flag that looked like that was going to be a hold. Looked like somebody had a handful of Terrence Campbell's jersey. McConnell Collision Center flag. I think of
holding on the offense, 10 yards, spotted a foul. Replay first down.
Yeah, I thought I saw a big clump of white jersey getting yanked back from Terrence Campbell. If you're the Saraland coaches here, you're really wanting to have your team keep their focus here. 5.5 to go. Runnels looks over to the Saraland sideline and play clock inside 10. In the right side, it's a one-on-one matchup. Fires it up, and he's got Jarrell Williams, and Williams has got it, and he's got the first down up to the 34-yard line.
You've been talking about the height advantage that Williams has on the other Williams, so the 20 corners. Yeah. And, you know, I think a little bit of a push there got him free.
28 yards on the reception, and Saraland on the move. Once again, out of the backfield, Willie Butler. He's got one touchdown here tonight, and he's going to get a USA Mitchell Center first down and a flag at the end of the play at the 15. Maybe there was a face mask at the end of that tackle.
I don't know. Butler looks like he is a little concerned. He might have been flagged on that play. Let's see.
He came in, touched it one time, and took a 35-yard handoff to the house in the first half. Butler, their starting corner, but they'll bring him in.
Yeah, I think he's been exonerated, and it is in fact.
Wow. Face mask.
There you go.
On the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
McConnell Collision Center. Flag there, and McConnell wants to remind you that you have a right to tell your insurance company where you want your vehicle to go. Like, say, if a lady almost takes off the door of your Tundra at the boat launch.
Who would that have happened to?
Tell them where you want it to go. McWilliams, the right side, cuts it back to the middle and down to the 6. As we're inside 4.5 to go. Some folks checking in. Scott Cooper watching the game over in Point Clear tonight. He was at the UMS St. Paul's game last week. His brother was the Alumnus of the Year honored at halftime last week, Angus Cooper III. Second and goal. Williams gets set. Quick slips it out to the far side. That's Ryan Williams, the freshman. What a move, and he's got his second touchdown reception of the season. Shifty in the backfield. And the good-looking freshman extends the Saraland lead. Now 30-0 pending the PAT.
So you got the wide receiver that happens to be a freshman. The tailback is a freshman.
Quarterback's a junior.
Yeah. Some of these linemen are underclassmen.
And Hunter Kirkland stays perfect on the night. And it's 31-0. Saraland in control of this one with 3:46 to go in the third on Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by our friends at Wendy's. Saraland continues to build on their lead. They led 24-0 at the half, and then 5 plays, 65 yards, a little over 2 minutes there to extend the lead now to 31-0 over Blount. And this.
We talk about Saraland's got to stay in the game. So does Blount. I mean, they've got they've got snaps to take care of. They've got reps to get in. You've got a young quarterback in for an injured quarterback. I mean, there's still tasks to be performed here tonight.
Kirkland, this one just bounces between the two Blount players in the end zone. All right, so had our trivia question here tonight. It said Blount started off 1-3. When was the last time it happened? It didn't happen very often. When did it happen, and who was the coach?
I don't have this one.
Dan Brennan does not have a guess. He actually had a mention of it earlier, and the answer is who you would never guess to be the guy.
Wow.
2006, Ben Harris when he came
back.
But lest you think, if you're not familiar with the great Ben Harris and why we say you wouldn't guess that. We're going to talk a little bit about Ben Harris here on this drive.
We could talk all night about Ben Harris.
And Freddie Davis now back in at quarterback. So
that's good news.
Ben Harris, in the late 80s, when he came to Blount, Blount had lost more in 5A. Blount High School had lost more games in the past 10 years than any other school in the state.
Really?
Then, after his first year here, got the ship righted. In the next 10 years, they went 130. 8 region championships, 4 state championships, as that one's broken up on the far side. He was twice the National Football League Coach of the Year for high school coaches.
Wow.
And, of course, he's in the Alabama High School Hall of Fame, and just the field's named after him at Blount. I mean, a wonderful coach. He was the Teacher of the Year in Mobile County. He was the Citizen of the Year in Mobile one year. And we're just scratching the surface on how wonderful Ben Harris is.
Yep.
Inside give, and does Blount have their first down of the night? They do at the 3:06 mark of the third quarter.
Those are just awards, Jim. Those are great awards to get, but those just kind of paint the picture of who the man was, the way he lived every day. There was the big prize right there.
And just impacted the lives of so many young men.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
At Blount, and then came back and was the coach here for a while. Give on the inside here, but I mean, just changing young men's lives at Blount. This was back before Blount was at the new school.
Yeah, they were right in Pritchard.
Yep, and just a wonderful man, just a tremendous gentleman, and what he accomplished on the field. I mean, those Blount teams in the late 80s, and oh my goodness,
through the 90s.
Yep.
They went to work, man.
So that trivia question was really, that one's thrown incomplete. That trivia question was just
designed to throw me off. Yeah.
To be able to talk about Ben Harris.
That's cool. That's cool.
Because how much he's meant to that community, the team, and we got to know him in his second stint there at Blount, and he was just the same kind of a gentle giant of a big.
Yeah, it would be interesting to talk to players that played for him back in the late 80s, through the 90s. And was his demeanor different? As a younger coach, was he a little more fiery?
Whatever his demeanor was, it appeared to have worked, right?
It worked.
I mean, as a legendary coach in Alabama high school football history. So
legendary man.
Yep. Hats off to you, Ben Harris. Davis has a man wide open on the far side and just overthrew his intended receiver as he had Tyler Beverly there, had a step, but that one was thrown out. But it's good to see Freddie Davis back in the game.
Good to see he's well enough to play. He's got a heck of an arm on him.
Yeah. Fourth down, and Blount gets their first down. Boy, that's just kind of like looking at the mechanics. That's like all arm. Like, it wasn't like a big step into a throw. That was just all arm slinging it down.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Dunklin on to punt as we're inside 2 minutes to go in the third. Williams fair catches at the 42-yard line. So, we talked about Saraland and the losses they had, both highly ranked 7A teams, Theodore and Hewitt-Trussville. And Jeff Kelly told us before the McGill game, he said, you might not see it on the scoreboard, but we're seeing improvements with our team. Then they rallied to get the win on UTV 44 against McGill-Tulane. They pulled away from Baldwin County last week, going to get the win, looks like here tonight, non-region game next week against Davidson. And then, 2 weeks over on the hill. Could be a battle of unbeaten region teams matching up at the top of the 6A Region 1. Could be our Wendy's Friday Night Rivals game.
It'll be in the conversation, right?
No doubt. Could be the game of the week.
We get to the flex part of our schedule where it's kind of wide open.
Yep.
It's dealer's choice.
Darius Washington in the backfield as Landon Snow, the sophomore, comes in at quarterback. Saw him start the season at Theodore for a couple of series, and Theodore was swarming him to start things.
Yeah, it was a tough way to start a career for sure for Snow.
6'3", 175 pounds, has trouble with the snap, but alertly able to fall on it. Darius Washington is going to rumble all the way up near the sticks, and I believe he's going to have a first down, and he does for Saraland. So wasn't really drawn up on the board that way, but Washington alertly picked up on the loose ball, and a reminder to go blue for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month here from USA Health and the Mitchell Cancer Institute. Prostate Awareness Month, all month of September. It's the most common form of cancer among men, but it's also 100% curable if it's found early. So get checked and find out more at USA Health /prostate.
Now there's a visitor's side press box. That's new this year, isn't it? Was that here last year?
I do not remember seeing that, and Jared Kihas has confirmed he was probably in the consulting phase of the design and build out of that.
Who knows more about press boxes?
That's right. Beautiful facility here on campus at Saraland. Is the coming across the bridge in here tonight. All that rain water was like a small creek that overflowed its banks over there.
Talking about the walking bridge.
Yeah.
I'd never noticed that creek before, but I noticed it this time around in the light of day.
Yeah, there was some water moving through there as we will head to the fourth quarter. Saraland in control of this one. Going to stay perfect in the region, it looks like. Fourth quarter action coming up on our Wendy's Friday Night Rivals here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Matt Melton, our statistician, up in the booth. Heather Healy down on the sidelines. Jared Kihas and our great UTV 44 crew, who, as we said, set up. And it didn't rain in Baldwin County much until I was headed over this way around 4 o'clock, but not the case here today. Our crew setting up in the rain all day.
Yeah, you could just. We just had rain, bands of rain coming off the Gulf of Mexico, going south to north, and it was a mess in Mobile much of the afternoon, and that would include Saraland, Mobile County.
Penalty to start quarter number 4 against the Spartans makes it a 3rd and 12. Landon Snow rolls out, zips it to the near side, and it's going to be good for the first down as Jarrell Williams has the catch to the 34-yard line, and a pickup just enough for the first down. A USA Health Mitchell Cancer Center first down here for the Spartans. 3rd and 12, and
they get it.
Sophomore Landon Snow with the completion. Washington, another sophomore in the backfield with the carry.
They've got running backs other than just Santi McWilliams, for sure.
This is, these are talking about reps to be had, too. These are good reps for the young quarterback. Landon Snow hasn't had a chance to get in much since that opening week at
That's a good point, Jim.
At Theodore. 2nd and 5. Washington going to pick up about 4. He's a good-looking prospect, 6'3", 175.
Talking about the quarterback?
Yep.
Started the season as number 1. A little over his head against Theodore, but the entire team was. That was the problem, right?
Right. And then they went Hewitt-Trussville. That was a tough matchup. And now they're kind of finding their stride here. But again, we talked about Gabe Reynolds and just the way we've kind of watched him grow up here over the past 3 Friday nights, and a really big turning point was that late in the second half against McGill a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they were down 25-10.
Yep.
There's even a big pass that was dropped by Jarrell Williams, aside from the ones he caught.
Yep.
That led the comeback.
22 points in the fourth quarter got the victory. Saraland working the clock down here. Washington, first down, not much room there.
Blount's doing a good job of showing some pride. They're not giving up the big chunk plays that they were earlier, and that's keeping your head in the game, keeping your leverage.
Spanish Fort had a bit of a tussle with Baldwin County, 14-7 in the fourth quarter.
Interesting.
Right now, Fairhope leads Davidson 30-0. Davidson and Saraland, as we just said, will match up next week. St. Paul's leads Faith Academy 10-7 in the third. Cliff Shores leads Robertsdale 14-6. T.R. Miller up 7-0 over Bayside. And play clock down to 0.
There's the inexperienced quarterback, right? Just doesn't look up to what's plainly right in front of you. Got to look at that play clock.
More scores here. Williamson leads W.S. Neal 28-0. McGill 52-0 over Citronelle. We will see McGill next week against Murphy. And our crew was never more ready for some hot Fusakli's food than when it arrived here today after the long day in the rain. Fusakli's takes care of our crew every night. They take care of you. Of course, hand-breaded chicken tenders, all those homemade sauces, drive-thrus at all locations. You can order online at fusaklis.net. A snack, a box, a salad, or a tray. Foo is perfect for any occasion, and keep the foo in football. And foo is a tremendous accompaniment to any football game.
Yes, mate, Jim, that storm's moving 30 miles away. It's right at the Escambia County line in Baldwin County. We're seeing this lightning to our northwest. I found it on radar, and it's not close, but it's a big enough storm where it's getting our attention right here in Saraland.
Daphne leads Foley 21-13 in the third. Chickasaw trails Flomanton 15-8. Theodore leads Murphy 20-6. Murphy and McGill next Friday night here on Friday Night Rivals. Baker 43-0 over Mary G. Here on 2nd and 9. Landon Snow, far side, gets it complete to Jarrell Williams. But again, there's Darrell Williams, who's done a pretty good job of staying on Jarrell Williams tonight.
If you're looking for something good for Saraland, not for Blount, not much through the air tonight for the Saraland offense. They've been, for the most part, a ground team.
And haven't had to put it in the air.
Haven't had to. That 85 yards passing right now.
So 3rd and 10 here for the Spartans. Snow looks a little shoulder fake. Wants to lob it out looking for Engelbert, and just thrown in front of him, but good coverage again back there. Tyler Beverly. And now 4th down from the 24. It'd be a 41-yard field goal, and Hunter Kirkland has,
I think, you get
big leg.
You give this quarterback another chance to make a play here, because the game, field goal would be pretty inconsequential at this point. So let her rip.
Play clock approaching 5. Snow gets it off, looking to his right. Now looks over the middle and just overthrown for Williams, and they hit late on Jamal Wigfall with a hit on Snow, but no penalty. So Blount's defense comes up with a stop. And with 9 ticks and 8 minutes to go, Blount will get it back.
That was the freshman Ryan Williams who broke open one-on-one over the middle. And Snow just a step ahead of him with the throw.
Davis will stay back in at quarterback. What?
Did they snap it before they were supposed to? Certainly Saraland was not even, they didn't have their full complement of players on the team. In fact, they had some coming off and some going on.
Yeah, I think they had more than their full
yeah.
complement.
Yeah. but not a full complement paying any attention to the snap.
So we have Blount had get the McConnell Collision Center flag.
Timeout, Saraland. That's their second charge timeout.
So they just got the timeout. Looks like Saraland is going to put in all fresh jerseys on the defensive side of the football. That might have been part of the discombobulation on the other side. So no penalty. So all right, here's what Blount has coming up. Mary G next week. Robertsdale, Spanish Ford at home, and then at McGill and at Gulf Shores. Going to drop down to 1-4 on the year here after tonight's matchup, and they really, I thought, you know, the vibe on the field before the game certainly. I mean, Blount coaches and players thought this was a game that could really turn their season around after the win last week they got, and they thought, hey, we get this one here tonight. Now this region looks entirely different, and then they just were never in this game tonight.
Now they again, A, can't run it. B, can't stop the run. That was pretty much the story of the first half, and you know how that story's going to end.
Still just one first down on the night. Sean Williams looking for the second, but he's going to get just to the 30 and bring up another third down here for the Blount Leopard team. And Saraland with all, as we said, all new defenders out there. Terry Curtis would always talk about this, how important it was to get these young kids in the games when you could, because they work so hard in practice each week. They put in so much time, and when you have a chance, you've got to get them that reward on Friday night to get in the game. And looks like that's going to be good for a a Blount first down. They're able to get it up to the 34-yard line. And another USA Health Mitchell Cancer Center Institute first down. Prostate Awareness Month all September. Go Blue. We're doing it here on our UTV 44 crew, and the sophomore Sean Williams up to the 40-yard line as we're approaching the halfway point of quarter number 4 here. He's not had 200 yards last week, but he just has not had any holes that have appeared opening in front of him here tonight.
Paul Horning or Vince Lombardi run the daylight. You point out the daylight, I'll go, but he hasn't had much of that today.
2nd and 5 here for the Leopards, and Chris Casher actually, you know what? You see, that's not going to be Chris Casher. That's going to be Tyler. It's going to be Tyler Tucker, the other number 9. Or it just might have been number 3, still Deshaun Williams.
Maybe. You know, Blount lost to Viger to start the year, and just looking over Viger's year so far, they're one of the better stories here locally. 4-0 on the year.
Right up at midfield, and now the Leopards earn those 2 yards to get over into Saraland territory.
You know, you go back to the drawing board.
Had a flag come in at the end of that one.
You're Blount. You go back to the drawing board, but really not exactly sure what you do. They were just so out of sync offensively, and for most of the season they have been
backed up the whole first half.
They had no field position.
Now you got to take a 15-yard face mask penalty, of McConnell Collision Center flag, and that backs you all the way up to the 33.
You know, if you're a coaching staff, you might have to just be concerned psychologically with this team.
You're right. I mean,
that might be the angle where you coach them.
Just we had, as we talked about, a coaching change at Blount. Lev Holly, who longtime coach at Blount, left close to the season. Took an administrative job within the school system. And he's now head of all middle school athletics over Mobile County. And I think it was something that Lev Holly envisioned leaving that close to the beginning of the season, but it was just it was a timing opportunity that that position came up, and it was one that Coach Holly just couldn't turn down, and has talked about aspirations and leadership and affecting. Thought it was really a way to affect young men more than just those on the football field, a way to all the middle schools now within Mobile County.
He'll be a great administrator. I talked to Lev. He gave me a call. It was ironic. He was getting ready to head this way, and he said he was actually heading up to Jackson to watch his son play. Yeah, and we were talking about the game a little bit, but we were really just talking about our relationships and the fun we had through the years.
So now the officials huddled together here, and so there's been some confusion. I'm not sure if it's first or second down, if that was a dead ball, foul, or during the play, that 15 yards. Must have been not a dead ball, must have been during play, because now it'll bring up 2nd and 15 after the 7-yard pickup here. Freddie Davis sees Williams sleek out of the backfield, but then they go to the speedy sophomore Cartel Washington.
Even the second string of Saraland's got that thing covered up really well.
Washington, all that moving around, only picked up a couple. You look at our nice facilities here at Saraland. We're down there on the far right of your screen, and the press box. Coaches up above us and to our sides. And 3rd and 13 here for the Blount Leopards, and they just have not had any answers with the ball in their hand here tonight. Sean Williams back just past the original line of scrimmage after that penalty, and
we've gotten a little glimpse of what he can do here in the second half.
So 4th and about 6 here for the Leopards from the Saraland 46. We inch closer to 3 minutes left. Here in this one, Davis, right side, sidesteps some pressure, stays on his feet, but is going to be brought down at the 45 as Clint Smith able to make the stop, and a turnover on downs, and Saraland will get it back with 3 minutes remaining in this one. We'll come back and bring you the last 3 minutes of this one. Saraland on top big over Blount on Friday Night Rivals. Here in Saraland, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sidelines, Matt Melton, our statistician, Jared Kihas, and our entire UTV 44 crew watching Saraland on this one. Hey, big win for St. Paul's tonight. They beat Banff Academy 10-7.
Wow, big win for them coming back after that tough loss at UMS.
Saints now 1-1 in region play as Snow looking up the far side, and say he was
out of bounds.
Not in bounds. As Ventura Zaninga was the intended receiver there on first down in the inside give, and I'm sure Saraland would just love to figure out a way to keep this one on the ground, get one first down here, and let this clock run out. But 3rd and 12 coming up.
A little surprised they went deep on the first down play. I know you're just trying to get the quarterback a little work in a game time situation.
As we've got Connor Whitson now in at quarterback. Senior quarterback for Saraland, and the give on the right side. Nick Towner, another senior. Coach Boutwell trying to get some of those seniors in here when he can, and 4th down coming up there. Should get a good look at Towner.
And yes, that is the Blount Band playing on.
You look at Connor Whitson, who the senior comes off after getting a few snaps late in this one. And Jack Smith on to punt. What a weapon he is. Big high kick. The Leopards just going to get away from this. Now they decide they will grab it. And it's about the 15-yard line is where Blount will start. They've been there much of the night. And I want to thank Greer's, celebrating 13 years of their Apples for Students campaign. And a big part of high school football on Friday nights for a long time here. And also Barrow's Fine Furniture, a great partner of ours many, many years as well. And Alabama Orthopedic. Do our pregame show at their sporty building right there on the Beltline, just between Dolphin and Old Shell. And the Blount offense back out here with 1:11 to go. Davis. That play there is kind of what we've seen a lot out of both sides here tonight.
Yeah, tough sledding against the Saraland defense, even this version of the Saraland defense, which is mostly reserves.
Inside a minute here, and Williams will head off again next week. Oldest rivalry in Mobile. Mobile and Murphy and McGill here on UTV 44. That one's at Ladd, our first trip there this year, and coming in to get his first carry was Javian Hawthorne, a sophomore, and he got wrapped up, and that'll do it. They will not need to take another snap in this one, and I don't believe Coach Sumter is going to send another play in over on the far side. That will bring this game to a close. An impressive performance for Saraland. They get the shutout victory over Blount. They make it 5 straight over the Leopards and 6 of the last 8. And don't look now, but Saraland's 3-0 in the region with a victory here tonight. 3-2 on the season.
And Spanish Fort looking a little human, struggling with Baldwin County tonight.
Yeah, Baldwin County, you got to think that's an improving program. Some of the scores we've seen them put up this year. And Blount drops down to 1-2 in the region, 1-4 on the season. And Saraland with the big win, and the victorious fill-in coach did a great job tonight. Saraland's with Coach Boutwell. Heather is anyway.
All right, Coach, before we do this interview, I want you to breathe. I want you to crack a smile. I mean, you got the first shutout that you guys had this season. How'd you get it done?
Well, Coach Kelly, he holds us to the highest standard around here. Coaches, players, everybody included, and we knew tonight that we had the big challenge. When your leader, you know, he's such an unbelievable leader for us, and the kids really stepped up to the challenge tonight, and we couldn't be more prouder for them. It's the 100th win in school history tonight, and you know, and it kills me for Coach Kelly not being here tonight. But we answered the bell for him, and so we're happy.
So the 100th win in this program, what does it mean for you specifically in this program?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. Coach Kelly sent us a text tonight and said, "Hey, good luck. Go get win number 100." And there's been a lot of things, you know, that he's wanted us to all do, and him and I have talked a lot this week. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw it, I got a little nervous. So, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened for these kids. You know, they did an outstanding job. Their student section was unbelievable. Our defense was outstanding tonight, and just very happy for everybody now.
Coach Kelly is watching. What are you going to say to him right now?
We hope you get well, Coach. I know that we've talked every day. I need you back Sunday. He can have this.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Go out and celebrate.
Thank you,
guys.
Oh, Coach Boutwell, we've been lucky enough to know him as a long time. Again, a head baseball coach out here, and does a great job on that side of things too. But he had big shoes to fill here tonight, and you know, by winning percentage, the all-time winningest head coach in Saraland history.
You just saw him.
By winning percentage right there.
You just saw the man right there. Very inspiring words by Coach Boutwell.
I mean,
as he says, Coach Kelly, please come back. You can have it.
To have never lost. I mean, just what a, I mean, get the Hall of Fame spot at Saraland ready for Coach Boutwell after the win here tonight. And
Coach Boutwell Field.
We joke about it, but what a performance by Saraland here tonight. And, you know, they really facing some adversity themselves, but they got after Blount early, and they just never gave Blount a chance to get into this game.
Yeah, I think it was, again, as simple as, maybe my mind is simple when it comes to these things, but Blount could never get a run game going. It took them into the second half before they got a first down.
3 minutes to go in the third.
So they never get a run game going, and Saraland was able to really get some explosive plays right over center and guard. That was a good recipe. That was a good way to start things, and then they did some other things as well, but Saraland, a more physical football team tonight.
And Saraland stays perfect in the region. Could be setting up a big matchup in 2 weeks with Spanish Fort, and we will give you our 3 players of the game. You can go to utv44.com to vote for who you think should be this week's Herc Reynolds player of the game. Trayvon McAlpine wreaking havoc on the defensive line. Santi McWilliams, the running back, huge night on the ground, had almost 100 yards rushing in the first quarter. And Jarrell Williams on the receiving side, but also on the special team side, had the 32-yard touchdown on the punt that's really kind of set Saraland on their way in that first half. So go to utv44.com tonight, and you can vote for your Herc Reynolds player of the game. So for Heather Heatley down on the sideline, Jared Kihas, and our entire crew here on UTV 44, Matt Melton, our statistician in the booth, Dan Brennan, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from Saraland, where the Spartans win big and stay perfect in 6A Region 1 tonight here on Friday Night Rivals.